Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be looking at another speech-to-text model, which is the Distil-Whisper. The Distil-Whisper is a distilled version of OpenAI Whisper model. It's a speech recognition model which is smaller and 6 times faster than the full Whisper. So this is the official GitHub repository, and we know like the Distil-Whisper is from Hugging Face. So we're going to look at the models and the installation. So let's check the models first. Under the model, we have different types and sizes. So these are the different models, and we have the large version. The large has different types. We also have the medium and the smallest version. Each of the model has their parameter, latency, and the word error rate, which has been documented here. So under the distilled large version 3, we can see like it has 756 million parameter, while the distilled smallest version has the 166 million parameter. We must know like the larger the number of parameter, the more efficient the model, and also the more heavier the model will be when you're working with it. So the distilled small, which has 166 million parameter, will be the lightest and also will be the fastest on CPU. So let's go to the installation section. So these are the things that we need to install, and we're going to install the transformers. And this data set audio, we are not going to be installing that since we're going to be loading our data from local. So to use this model, we can see some demonstration here, which is what they've added under their description. So let's say you are doing like a short form transcription. So this is like a sample code which you can actually work with. So and there are also other descriptions below. So now we're going to go to our code, and I'm going to demonstrate how you can actually use this while running on a CPU. Now that we are in our Visual Studio Code, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a virtual environment. So let's activate. Yeah, so we've activated the environment. So let me create a Jupyter notebook file. Let's install the touch library. So now we're going to install transformers as well. Now that we've installed transformer and the touch, we're going to go to the GitHub repository, and we're going to take the sample code and test this. Let's take this. So let me first import. So I'm going to be using the small version. So you may decide to try out with the large version though. Let's also take this part. Okay, so we're going to change this to the smallest version. So I'm going to call this the short form transcription. I'm going to run this cell. So I'm going to define the audio part. So where I'm using one of these audio samples, let's call this pipe. Then we're going to pass the audio part as well. So let me define a print so we can see the results. Let's run it and see what the result looks like. Yeah, so this is the transcription results. And let's say we want to have this transcription result in a TXT file. We can write it out as a TXT file. So to do that, we can do, let's open a text file. So let's call this sample1.txt. So let's run this. So we have the text here. Let's run the audio file to see what we transcribed is actually correct. Yeah, let's listen to it.
My thought, I have nobody by a beauty and will as you poured. Mr. Rochester is sub, and that so don't find simpus, and devoted to bowed, to had might in a
Yeah, so this is the sample file. Now I'm going to show you how you can work with longer audio file. What we did earlier was to transcribe a short audio clip. So it is important for you to know that the Distil-Whisper and the Whisper models, they are designed to handle 30 seconds audio at a time. So if you want to work with something that is a longer audio clip, which is more than 30 seconds, there's a way you can actually process them. So we're going to do that now. So we're going to go back and let's just copy the code that we had here previously. So let's change this pipe. So here we're going to define a chunk length, and we're also going to define a batch size. So for this chunk length, it defines how long each segment of our audio should be in seconds. Hugging Face recommend we use 25 seconds if we are working with the distilled large version. Since we are not on GPU, we're going to set this as 20. So with this, our audio is going to be splitted in smaller segments for the model to process. So whereby the batch size, so we're also going to add let's say 4. So what this batch size does is it actually controls how many chunks are processed at once. So now we're going to run this. And let's copy this. Yeah, and I'm going to change the name of the audio to sample 2. Let me just write it to a text file. So let's change this to sample2.txt. Yeah, so we can run our code now. So it is done running. So let's check the text. This is the transcribe test. So let's play the audio and check few seconds of the clip. So we have the audio is about 9 minutes. Yeah, so let's play it and just check the text.
Hello and welcome to Effortless English. Today is another spontaneous podcast, spontaneous English. And of course, spontaneous means without a plan. And it's the most natural kind of speaking. It's speaking without reading, without...
So that's just like a few seconds out of the audio clips, and we can see the transcribe test. So in case if you want to work with something that is longer than 30 seconds audio, so this is usually the best way to go about it. So just add chunk length and batch size to the pipeline code. So I believe this tutorial has been very helpful to you in showing you how you can actually transcribe your audio to text using the Distil-Whisper version. And the Distil-Whisper is actually like the faster version of Whisper. So you can always try this out by using any of their models. So this is the end of this video. If you have any question, please drop them below. Also, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you can see related videos like this. Thanks for watching. I would love to see you next time.